Welcome back to another Financial Funnies. Today is Tuesday, the 23rd of September 2025. This is the show where money meets madness and sometimes even malware. I'm here in the UK where the pound is sinking faster than my Wi-Fi signal. Let's dive straight in. First up, the US Federal Reserve cut rates by 0.25%. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq hit records high and the Fed hinted at 2 more cuts this year. Stocks and housing markets should stay buoyant, but inflation risks remain. Moving on, US-China trade fell to 19-year low. Imports dropped to their weakest since 2006, showing tariffs and tech disputes are doing damage. Supply chains are already shifting to BRICS and Southeast Asia. The world's 2 biggest economies are basically giving each other like the silent treatment with tariffs. Gold hit $3,725 an ounce and silver climbed to $43.70 an ounce, driven by safe haven demand and industrial use. Metals remain strong into year end, and if you've still got grandma's spoons, congratulations, you're now a commodities trader. Flying to Rio, the BRICS summit wrapped up. Leaders called for IMF reforms, a new guarantee fund, and 23 new applicants queued to join. Members also accelerated gold reserves. De-dollarization is picking up speed. The West can roll its eyes, but the bloc is building its own playground. And they're taking their gold toys with them. Back in the UK, public borrowing hit £83.88. That's the highest since 2020 and £11 billion above forecast. The pound is slipping to £1.35. Budget pressure is building ahead of November. It smells like austerity 2.0, except this time they'll call it fiscal discipline. Across the Atlantic, Nvidia made 2 big bets. $5 billion went into Intel for AI chips, and $100 billion into OpenAI. The AI arms race is red hot. This is bubble behavior, but remember, bubbles can last a lot longer than your cash. In Europe, the EU is racing ahead with the digital euro. It's being fast-tracked after US stablecoin laws, while cyber attacks disrupted airports in Berlin, Brussels and Heathrow. Europe's moving towards digital finance, but can't keep its airports online. The irony writes itself. Zimbabwe lifted its GDP forecast to 6.6%. Gold and tobacco exports are leading the charge. The IMF, however, warns on deficits. Short-term growth looks brighter, but it's built on commodities. Great when prices are high, painful when they aren't. Iraq secured $100 billion plus in foreign investments, focused on rail and pipeline projects, along with a new digital e-signature rollout. Diversification is the goal, but stability is the missing ingredient. Without it, it's just money on paper. Vietnam's economy held firm at 6.6% growth. Shrimp exports rose 23% and more than $600 million in renewables were approved. Vietnam is Asia's quiet success story. When poke bowls in London move your GDP, you're onto something. Australia's household debt hit a 6-year high. Regulators are probing private credit banks and cutting jobs. Gold miners are thriving. Consumers are stretched thin. If the RBA doesn't cut soon, expect more cracks than a kangaroo crossing the motorway. Canada wrapped budget talks. Priorities are affordability and energy security. The BOC says stability is holding, but trade risks are rising. In crypto, Meta Planet bought 5,419 BTC. Holdings now total 25,555 BTC, worth $2.8 billion. Meanwhile, Dogecoin got an ETF listing, and Deutsche Bank said central banks may hold Bitcoin by 2030. Institutional adoption is real, volatility remains, but crypto's future is increasingly mainstream. But don't expect your pension fund in the UK to buy Dogecoin anytime soon. Attackers could impersonate any user worldwide. Meanwhile, reports show 93% of organizations are already facing AI-driven hacks daily. Cyber is no longer an IT problem, it's a business survival problem. When bots outnumber humans 80-1, it's less a workforce and more a bot farm with coffee breaks. Coming up next week, Tuesday, Powell speaks, inflation and policy clues. Wednesday, new home sales, key housing indicator. Thursday, durable goods orders, Q2 GDP revision, existing home sales. Friday, PCE inflation, the Fed's preferred gauge. And finally, Microsoft made headlines again this week after patching a perfect 1010 critical flaw in Entra ID, formerly Azure Active Directory. The bug allowed attackers to impersonate any user worldwide, even global admins. That's right, if you were the boss, the hackers could be you too. Security experts called it total tenant takeover, bypassing MFA, conditional access, even logging. SharePoint, Exchange, Azure, all wide open. In other words, Microsoft accidentally invented the future no one asked for, hackers as a service. Now, imagine if Bill Gates himself had coded the bug in on purpose. Forget philanthropy. One update and every Bitcoin, XRP and Dogecoin wallet in the world routes straight to Bill's account. It would make him the first trillionaire and possibly the first man to own both Microsoft Office and your crypto keys. So, if your wallet app ever updates and the patch note just says bug fix, Bill gets richer. Don't be surprised at this point. Window updates already feel like ransomware with extra steps. And that's today's roundup of markets, money and a little madness, from Britain's burrowing binge to BRICS gold rush, from Nvidia's AI billions to Microsoft's mega bug. The world never slows down. Join my Patreon for free for the latest hack, scam, cybersecurity updates, and most importantly, how to keep your crypto safe from Bill Gates. Until next time, laugh at the chaos before the chaos laughs at you. But for now, bye bye.